session. Thanks for joining. My name is Ari, and I will introduce a tool called ClamPipe. I will show you the brief history of the tool. It started as Wikimedia grant project in 2016, and it was designed for alternative for ClamWiki toolset. And the idea was that you could prepare your metadata in the tool itself, and that you could upload local files. So you need a local installation. Unfortunately, it was a dead project. A couple of years I had no time to work on it, but this year I rewrote it, and I will show you the current state. The design principle is not spreadsheet based, so it should be a simple tool that will expose a lot for advanced users, sort of onion version of user interface. And the problem with spreadsheets, at least for me, is that they don't work very well with written data, so sort of clam type data. And this onion model means that you have a graphical user interface for everyone, and then you have a scripting user interface for scripters, people who are willing to learn a little bit scripting. And if that's not enough, then you can use REST API. And if that's not enough, then you can use a software library. So this is the way attempt to solve simplicity versus complexity in the software data processing. And I will show the tool. It's the few words about installation. It's installed with Docker, so it's not normal software installation, but it's not hard. You need to write a few commands. You need to have Docker installed in your machine, and you need a Git version management software, and then you need to type or copy four commands. So it's not traditional software installation, but it's not that hard. When you open the tool, you have this project view. You create project here, and then you can add stars, so you can see the most used projects in the top of this list. And I will create a project. And it gives you this simple user interface. On the left, there is functionalities, and you can read, process, and write and view data. And so when you want to import data your project, you select here, read from file, from web, from collection, and you can also do a directory scan. I import CSV file. There's no Excel import, but you can easily export from spreadsheets. So I don't see that a big issue. I have here dissertation data, and when I click create node, it creates this node. These are the main building blocks of this data transformation. So it creates a import node, it uploads the file to the system, but it doesn't import it. You must run it. And all nodes work this same way. You create node and then you set the settings and you run it. So here's the separator, of course, when it's comma separated data, and when I click import, it imports the data. I can close settings here and I can deselect this node here. And here is this chair icon. I can choose what fields I want to see. I want to see title and authors and subjects. And then I close this. And I can sort. There's also very simple search here. You can choose what field to use. Let's take DC title. Contains and then you can delete it. So this is the data import, and that's the point where this difference from many other tools that you can first of all, if you import it again, then it removes the previous data and makes a new import. And I can also add another data set, and this is useful when you have data sets that are, for example, per year, 2020, 2021. And now I can import this. There is now 175 objects, and when I import this, there are 282. And now what happens if I delete this first one? So it takes the first import with it. So these nodes are linked to the data they import. So you can switch data quite easily. So now I want to do something for the data. There is the process section, and there are string operation, format, manage, collection, file operations, and lookup data. So first I want to join two rows. I'm sorry, it's not. I want to combine two fields, and the CLAM pipe is designed in a way that it doesn't never change the original imported data. But every time you make a modification, you create a new field. So this makes it simple to experiment. There's no kind of undo. You just create output. Let's say this, call this title combined. And now there is a new field, and I can, let's say I want to, for some reason I want to combine title and year. So this date issued. and I want it to, let's take this year so we can see it, date issued there. So so I here say that take title issue and put these marks around it. Now I can test this with this little play button, and where is my there it is. It lost the field. So it created this, and I can test again. Does it work? Since still minor issues remembering. I actually transformed this node just recently today, and it doesn't remember its settings, so that's the problem. It normally, of course, remembers. So date issue done. So now it works, and when I have tested, it should work, and I can run it for all documents, so it generates the new field. Now, if I think this wasn't the right thing, I can remove this, and then the data is gone. So when it creates a new field, it takes it when you delete the node. What if it almost do what you want? Let's take a very simple case. We want to change case of the title again. Title is easy. So we take this to uppercase. And we test. Okay, working. Now, if you would like to make uppercase, but you have some kind of exceptions, then you can see how this works. So the code of this node is visible to user, and it's meant to be user editable. So here is the thing. So it's 40 lines. It's quite a lot. You don't have to care about it. You can delete all, and you can start making your own out.value is what is get written to that new field. So if I write here hello world, and I save this, and now if I test this, it's the PC title uppercase is now hello world, and I have access to this document, a row in spreadsheet language, and it's exposed me from context and doc. So if I want that DC title copied here, I can save and test. So it now, let's add this hello world again. Space. So it's you can, even if you are not a programmer, you can without knowing anything about saving files or writing to database in your own browser, make small scripts that transforms your data. And all the nodes expose the inner structure. Because if one would like to create processing nodes for everything possible, that's required hundreds of, even thousands of different kinds of nodes. But adding the scripting ability, you can keep the number of nodes low, and then people can continue with scripting. So that's the basic local editing. Now about Wikidata stuff. I'm not an active Wikidata editor. I'm not active Wikidata uploader, Commons uploader at the moment. My Wikidata and Commons activity are almost always based on my work, and we do uploads, and we use some Wikidata, and I need tools for that also. So I make a new collection here. So inside project you can have several collections. They are like spreadsheets in spreadsheet world. I mean sheets, yeah. So I make a new, let's say, Wikidata. So it's a new, and there is to read. Now I read from web, and I want to use Sparkle. I'm not very good at Sparkle, so I will use there are some examples, building designed by Almar Aalto, and there's a limit of 10 or 20 in this. But basically this is the link, the query service, and you can here make the query and then copy the URL here. And now I import that data. I close this, and I got building and building label. Now if I want some more information, I can make a Wikidata lookup. So there are lookups, and there is a Wikidata lookup. So I want to use this building field contains the Wikidata ID, and I want to fetch site links. So I create node and I run it, and it gives me the links to the. Now if this is not what you want, you can go to processing and options. So this is this options part is what kind of request ClamPipe makes to query service. So this options defines that a ClamPipe makes the request and passes the data to processing.js. So here is what comes from the query service, and you can decide how you want to formulate it. I can show you the another well, maybe the right section is good to cover. So if I now want to get this data out, I can write. Currently there is a CSV export and also some DSpace exports. These are also similar nodes to like other ones. You define what fields you want and what's the name of the file and what's the separator, and you export and you can download the result. But I don't need that now. I want to show shortly this reconciliation. So one use case of reusing Wikidata for example, museum use is to check if artist has Wikidata ID, and that's why this reconciliation tool is built. It took 3 days to create this. It's not quite ready yet, but it's quite useful. I have here. No, I lost it. Where is my example? Here. Yeah. So the reconciliation node is a lookup node, and you say what field you want to use. Here I use the is this not right data? So let's see if I could create this. I like to look up. I had a couple of minutes time, so I'm trying to hurry. So I'm used building label, and now this is not going to work, but because it's already done. But this, when I run this, it makes the reconciliation query, and there's a different UI for this. Now this is the right one, where it looks like this when it's opened. This was already matched. So you have these matches. So this is a perfect match, and I can select that, or I can say that there was no match. So I can go through this whole set, and so this is the right one, and then I'm done. And after that, I have here the match field, which contains the matched Wikidata ID, and then I can continue from here. I can export the data, for example, in museum database. So that's sort of purpose of this tool. I think my time is up, so I will thank you for your participation. If you have any use of this tool, please contact me. If you have any ideas how to use or improve it for Wikidata or Commons uploads, then please get in touch. I'm eager to continue to work with this tool.